Hello there, my name is Theo and welcome to this week's edition of The Recap. Rising sea levels for the village of Furbourn in Wales threaten to make this village the home of the first climate refugees in the UK. The village is set to be decommissioned in 26 years. However, if forecasts for rising sea levels change, this could happen much sooner. Speaking of Wales, the Department of Fisheries and Oceans announced that the 9th dead right whale found may have been accidentally counted twice, bringing the official number down to 8. This week saw more record-breaking temperatures across Europe, with France recording the highest temperatures of 42.6 degrees. What a sizzling summer. With under 3 months to go to federal elections, pressure is mounting on CBC to facilitate a climate leaders debate. We will bring you more of this in this feature.
Are you going to be silent?
Outside of the Canadian Broadcasting Centre in Toronto, demonstrators chant while holding up a mock-up of a pipeline, designed to look like some sort of monster. They are part of a nationwide movement that wants the CBC to host a federal leaders debate on climate change for the upcoming election.
And the reason we're doing this is because the IPCC said last fall we only have 12 years to cut greenhouse emissions in half. And so this election is really, really important. As young people, we think we're going to be facing the effects of climate change, so we deserve to know, as do all Canadians, where the leaders stand on climate change and how they plan on tackling it. And we think the best way to for us to know that is to get them in the same place and debate climate change and the Green New Deal.
But how hard is it to get CBC on board with this idea?
So the Federal Leaders Debate Commission, we went to them with a petition with 10,000 signatures on it for a debate on climate change. They came back to us and said, yeah, this is a super important issue. We'd love to do this. We just need to get a broadcaster on board. So we are here at the CBC, Canada's public broadcasting station. They came out with a statement to CBC North just this morning that said, yeah, we're super interested in doing this. This is really important. We are definitely going to be covering climate change in the election campaign, but we need approval from the Federal Leaders Debate Commission before we do this. So both of them seem to be on board with this proposition. It's just a matter of getting it done.
We didn't really have time to start really planning in earnest until about 4.5 days ago.
Wow.
So it's come together really quickly.
On July 17th, several of these demonstrations took place across Canada. Morgan Mastrovich and Caleb de Groot-McGetty organized an event outside of the CBC's Kitchener office.
I personally think they have a moral obligation to do this. It's part of their mandate to report on emergencies that the Canadian people face, and our Parliament has recently declared a national emergency about climate change. And so not only should they cover it, but because we're in an election year, people of Canada need to be able to compare the details of each party's plan to be able to cast an informed vote. We also know that from several different polls that climate change is a top 3 issue for the people of Canada voting in this election. And since it's such a big issue, and a lot of people really care about electing a party and a prime minister that will take bold action on climate change, they need to be informed.
But what are the challenges of organizing one of these small events?
I suppose the biggest one would be communicating to pretty much everyone and anyone that it's happening. So that's partly participants and getting participants out, and there's so many methods of getting the word out that way, but also...
Well, we hope they'll just hold a debate that's called a debate on climate change and the Green New Deal. I think, like in the last election cycle, there was only one question, I believe, on climate change, and it got maybe 5 to 10 minutes of attention. But, it's been declared a national emergency and it's a global crisis. So it can't be just a single issue. Like tackling climate change means how do we transform the economy to address climate change? It's also a matter of indigenous rights and workers' rights. So we want an entire debate where we look at all the different issues of climate change. Yeah.